Hey, this is Richard, Commissioner of Favre Flip Floppin. We think the league results are official, at least for first place. Our champion, winner of the football trophy, is Will Moore. He's going to join us here in a second. He's going to sit down right now. How you doing, Will?
Hi, Richard.
Good to see you. Sit down. Here, give me that. I'd like to congratulate you with the annual fantasy football trophy. It is of a soccer player kicking a soccer ball, but it is still football, as defined in European terms. I won it last year. You won it this year. We're keeping it in the Moore household. What do you have to say about winning it this year?
I just like more household thing.
So, who would you like to thank for your victory?
Well, when Dallas Clark went down in the middle of the season, Richard, I panicked. I'm not gonna lie. But Jake Tam, he said, "Hey, Will, pick me up. It'd be a good idea." And I'd also like to thank my cat Howie, who was always there for me when times were bad.
All right, interesting. Would you go as far to say that this is the happiest moment of your life?
It's number 17, Richard.
Okay, I'm not going to guess what the first 16, but it sounds pretty high up there. Who would you say your team's MVP was this season?
You know, it's a tough call, Richard, because my team is one of those all-around teams. They're kind of like, I can't think of an NFL reference right now, but every player contributes. But if I were held down, tied, gun to my head, all that crazy bad stuff, I would have to pick LaShawn McCoy.
Good choice. I wanted to bring up something. Last year you had the best record in the regular season, had the most points. This year you had the second best record, but you had the sixth most points. Last year you fell flat on your face in the first round. Would you say it was better to not get first place in the regular season, or to actually finish first place in the regular season, in terms of your playoff chances?
Well, say you finish first place in the regular season, Richard. The only place you can go is even or down. So if you finish fourth place in the in the regular season, I guess. I didn't finish fourth. I finished second. But you can go up. You can go up. There you go, Richard.
Interesting. What would you say to those teams who finished fifth and sixth in the regular season? They had more points than you did, actually, but you got in the playoffs and still won. What would you say to those teams?
Points, Richard? What are these points?
Well, they're fantasy points. They generally are a good indication of how good your team is.
I look at the record, Dick.
All right, interesting. Would you say that you were lucky?
Yes.
So is fantasy football all about luck to you and not about knowledge and skill?
It's about both. I would say about 55-45, with 55 being skill. You just got to make those right pickups during the year. You may score 150 points at the beginning of the season and end up in 8th place with 50 points on average the last 2 weeks. It's one of those kind of sports, Richard.
Was that an indication as to how my team fared at the end of the season?
No comment, Richard.
All right, interesting. What are you going to do with your $100 that you just won?
You know what, I'm probably going to buy, 7 Dr. Peppers, 6 bags of Reese Cups. I'll maybe throw some sour Skittles in there. And the other, I will spend on strippers.
Okay. I was going to say, you definitely have a lot left over, but I can see how that can all get blown in one night at the strip club. So what are your plans for New Year's?
Gatlinburg.
So, you're saying you just won the Fantasy Football Championship of one of the most competitive leagues in the history of fantasy football. And you're going to Gatlinburg.
Yes, I am going to Gatlinburg. I'm going to be going to Gatlinburg since I won this fantasy burg.
Alright, there you have it, folks. This is your fantasy football champion. He's got the football trophy. Back to you at the studio.